राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी। Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan Ram. Jaya 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 Shri Vrindavan. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan. Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan. Jaya Radhe Jaya Vrindavan. Shri Govinda Gopinatha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Ram. Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radhe. Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Vrindavan Chandra. Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Baladeva Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Govinda Hari Govinda Venkataramana Govinda Srinivasa Govinda Sri Venkatesha Govinda. Govinda Hari Govinda Venkataramana Govinda Srinivasa. Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Prabhupada. Gurudev 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 Jaya Srila Gurudev 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 Srila Gurudev. Hare युग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्री श्री गौर निताई की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समावेत भक्त वृंद. So Gaurangi is, how old is she? 6 months. 6 months, appropriate time. So where is this thing? She is going to get Annaprashan. So all of you did kirtan for her, for blessing Gaurangi today. You see, where is the food? Prasad? Yeah. See, the Shastras say that Ahara Shuddhav Sattva Shuddhav Dhruva Smriti, Smriti Lambe Grantinam Vipramoksha. So this meaning of this verse is, if one eats pure food, then one's mind and heart are cleansed. Ahara Shuddhav Sattva Shuddhi. Sattva Shuddhav Dhruva Smriti. Then one's fixity and focus on the spiritual goal of life becomes very easy. And Grantinam Vipramoksha means one becomes free from all troubles and bondages in this world by eating the prasadam. So even sattvic food is great, but at the same time it is not as great as prasadam, because sattvic food is sanctioned food, but prasadam is sanctified food. So a child, when the child gets the first grain, it's a very glorious day like today, when Gaurang is going to start prasadam, and every bit of this grain becomes a part of our body, and it supplies energy. May the energy of Gaurangi be used by her body, her mind, and words in Krishna service. We will pray like this, following in your footsteps. Both of you are wonderful devotees. So she also follow in your parents' footsteps. So all when Gaurangi is taking the first grain, all of them will chant Haribol loudly. Huh? Haribol. 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 Oh, you have to come. You have to finish it. Haribol. Okay. Got it? Haribol. You like it? Take one more. The wise kids all normally cry. She likes to eat. Haribol. Haribol. Excellent. So Atman will tell their names to everybody. Their daughter Gaurangi, 6 months back.
Prabhuji's name is Vaibhav Paul Prabhu, and Mataji is Roshni Mataji. So they are staying near Dighi actually.
Oh, he came from Dighi all the way. Okay.
So they're part of our group. Very shortly, they plan to shift near temple. So
she wants more of this. She's pulling it. You also give. You also give.
So kindly bless the daughter.
Haribo. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuvannmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nite Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. In Vaishnava relationship, when we study our Vaishnava literature, there is a very famous verse which you all know: Dadati Padighanati Guhyamakati Prachati Bhunkte Bhojete Chaiva Shadvidam Priti Lakshanam. In Prabhupada's purport, you will find Prabhupada says that when life members, donors come to temple, we give them prasadam and darshan and Prabhupada books. And they support our activities with with the donations, funds, and everything. So it's a give and take policy. Prabhupada writes there. You will read that. So in this way, the visitors develop relationship with the temple and the devotees, and they always very joyfully say that I am a life member. You have seen that. Many people have their card and everything. He says. So Prabhupada begins like this. Even amongst devotees, to begin any relationship, uh, these principles which are given are very simple. You give prasad to some, invite some devotee to your home, and you distribute prasad, and then they invite you to their house and they give prasad, and sometimes you offer a gift affectionately, and then they give you some gift affectionately. But these four things are based on one very deep connection, which is established by Guhyamakyadi Prichati, which is oftentimes not elaborately discussed amongst devotees. So this is, in my understanding, in all these years of practice, I feel that the heart of Vaishnava relationship is Guhyamakyati Prichati, revealing mind confidentially and hearing confidentially. And that type of relationship oftentimes doesn't happen many times. And the reason is uh, people people fear to reveal their mind. For example, if I have some doubt, I may not want to reveal it to somebody because that will make the other person feel that I have a doubt or I lack faith. For example, we what problems we all face in life. For example, I have an interpersonal clash with somebody, or I have a service that is becoming difficult for me, or I have philosophical doubt on some matter in the Prabhupada's books, or I have some doubt about some devotee, and the devotee, I heard some news about some devotee, I don't know, I have doubt about it, or I have my own mind troubling me, or I have my relatives who are posing difficulty in my devotional service. So these are all examples I'm giving you. These kind of problems we all do face. One or two of them we may face. But generally, people wonder to whom can I open up? One of the fears of opening up is because if it comes from my mouth and goes to somebody, and that person may propagate it to other people. And then other people will think that I am having this problem, they will look down upon me. Fear of ridicule, uh, or fear of neglect, or fear of undervalued. So these are fears due to which people don't open. Actually, it is very difficult to get a genuine friend in Krishna consciousness. And His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj said that real relationship develops in, he said, 5 or 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 years, like that he said. In one of his lectures, he said that. It's not very easy to get a true Vaishnava friend. Over a period of time, you will recognize, he said. So now let us see some genuine friends in the Shastra. For example, Nityanand Prabhu and Advaitacharya Prabhu, they are very thick friends. Swarup Damodar and Puntrika Vidyanidhi, they are very thick friends also. In the same manner, you find Haridas Thakur and Sanatana Goswami, they are thick friends. Ramanand Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are very thick friends. And Jiva Goswami and who? Actually, they are disciples, they are Shiksha disciples. Three of them are good friends. Those three, Srinivas Acharya, Shyamananda Pandit, Narottam Das Thakur, they were studying together and they did wonderful service also, yeah. So, similarly, Krishna and Sudama are good friends. Correct. Now. So, why I am quoting these examples? Because as soon as you say example, many principles come to light, comes very easy to understand. Like Akinchan Krishna's Babaji and Srila Prabhupada are good friends. And Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj and our Srila Prabhupada, they have been also very good friends also. So, what is expected um, in healthy Vaishnava relationships? So, in choosing the friendship, he says, Sajatiya Snigdha Swatovara. Swatovara actually means in that association, I am able to learn something and grow in my life. In that association, I am able to benefit. They are able to mutually benefit each other. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking a question to Ramanandra, Ramanandra is answering, and Mahaprabhu is relishing it. Like that. Similarly, you find in that mutual company. And and also they can joke together. Like, for example, uh, you will find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Vallabhacharya Sambandha is little formal. Mahaprabhu is reserved in revealing his love of God to Vallabhacharya. He is not revealing because he treated him with more respect. His relationship is little more formal and respectful to him because he's also a very big acharya from another sampradaya. And similarly, the relationship of Mahaprabhu with Sanatana Goswami is one of little more respectful compared to his relationship with Jagadananda Pandit. So that means in certain relationships, there is a reverential mood. In other relationships, there is intimacy. Like Advaitacharya and Nityananda were very intimate. You will see that. Gopinathacharya and Sarvabhaumacharya are very intimate also. You will find. Prabhupada says they are intimate to the point of, scolding and blaspheming. Prabhupada says Gopinathacharya was, establishing Lord Chaitanya supremacy to Bhattacharya. Uh, Although they were chastising, not they were means Gopinathacharya was chastising Bhattacharya. Bhattacharya said, "Why are you angry? We are friends. We are just discussing," like that he said. They had a very thick relationship, Prabhupada writes, as a brother-in-law, correct, no? Gopinathacharya was brother-in-law of Bhattacharya. Mm. So, there are many aspects of trust. There are more than, we can talk 20, more than 20 aspects of trust, which brings that type of thick relationship. For example, if I commit a mistake, you will point it out to me with the desire to help me to grow out, but you will not make a mockery out of me. And I will also, vice versa, do the same to you. If I find some partner, actually, I am your well wisher, and I will want to see you grow. And you are my well wisher, you will want to see me grow. That is the way the friendship is. So, similarly, I trust you, you trust me, and I know that even in my absence, you will not talk ill of me because you are my well wisher. You are concerned about me, and also I feel joyful to share my successes with you, and you feel joyful to share your successes with me, also like that. Mm. And also, if I have any problem, I can present it to you without the fear of you losing confidentiality. You'll keep it with you. And then, even if you are consulting somebody, you will never quote my name. You will get the answer to that problem and come and give me with the desire to help me. Similarly, when you tell me something confidentially, I'll keep it also. And then I'll get some help and come and give you. I like that. Maintaining confidentiality. And I also, not only I am affectionate to you, but I'm also respectful to you. And also I respect your likes and dislikes, and you respect my likes and dislikes also. And I will not impose my likes on you. And despite we both having two different likes and dislikes, we can still remain friends. We don't have to uh, clone the friend to be like us. I respect your likes and dislikes, and you respect my likes and dislikes also. Mhm. And we both have something in common. What is it? Which is spiritual life. I have a desire to purify my heart and go back to God. You also have the same desire. Therefore, we are putting Krishna in the center of our relationship. Mm. And we can express uh, our joys and sorrows and take help. For example, Nanda and Vasudeva are coming together. And Vasudeva is not receiving Nanda in his house. There is a reason for that. Not without a reason. There is a reason. He was sitting on a bullock cart. Mm. Who? Vasudeva. And when Nanda came, he met him casually in the side of a road. Like when Nanda is coming to pay tax to Kamsa, and he's going to pay tax for 3-4 years. It is mentioned. Why? Because he didn't want Kamsa or his henchmen, anybody to come anywhere near Nanda Gokulam. Because who is there in Nanda Gokulam? Who is there? The newborn Krishna is taken by Vasudeva and kept at the home of Nanda Yashoda. So Nanda thought, if I pay tax now, this fellow will not send anybody to my house. So that was the plan with which he came to pay tax. And when he met Vasudeva, Vasudeva was asking about the son Krishna, how is he doing? Uh, but he asked in such an amazing way that nothing will be understood by even the spies who may be around. That maybe comes as spies, especially around Vasudeva, because Vasudeva may be suspicious. I mean, Kamsa may be suspicious about Vasudeva's eighth child. Correct, no? So therefore, Vasudeva knew very well that I should not bring up that topic openly. He just casually asked, "How is your child? Is it all right?" Like that, he asked casually. Is he doing well and everything? So he knew that if I take him to my home, my wife Devaki will certainly ask Nanda Baba, "हमारा बेटा कैसा कर रहा है?" She will say that my child. Immediately Kamsa spies who hear it will go and tell Kamsa that she asked about her son. Huh? And she asked to whom? Nanda. So naturally, that means their child is with Nanda. That will come to be known. So, and also Vasudeva never went to Nanda Gokulam to see the child again, because his understanding was, if a honeybee collects honey and goes and deposits it in the honeycomb and comes back and forth, the farmer finds out where is the honeybee coming from. Then he will go and show a fire torch and take out the honeycomb. Therefore, Vasudeva thought, although I have given my son to Nanda, I will never visit that place until Krishna fully grows up, so that there will be no element of any suspicion. So, which goes to show Vasudeva is very shrewd. He is meeting Nanda in the middle of the road as if in a casual talk, not calling him to home, not visiting, all these things. So they both are talking that we both are friends, but Kala Nadya, they are saying that just like a river sometimes brings leaves together, sometimes the leaves are separated. Similarly, we both are friends, but our friendships, although we both are thick friends, time has separated us. You are there and I am here. You are in Mathura and I am in Vrindavan, in the Gokulam. Uh, and we only occasionally get to meet with each other. And then what did he speak? Vasudeva speak? Mm. Uh, Vasudeva was also telling, Nanda was talking to Vasudeva about the lost children. So many children have been, killed by Kamsa, correct now? So you have lost so many children, you may be very sad about it, you know. So I can understand. Which means when they meet each other, they also talk about the family. They also talk about Krishna in this also, with all kinds of characters. They both are very thick friends, Vasudeva and Devaki. Like for example, when Yudhira comes back in the first canto, 13th chapter, you will read home. Our Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he's talking, you will see that first of all, he will make him comfortable, giving him prasadam, accommodation, bathing, and everything. And when he comes and sits, first he will ask him, "How was your journey? Hmm? Where all you went? How did you, live in those places which are strange new places you went?" That's one thing he's asking. Another thing, whom all you met on your journey? He met Uddhava. He met Maitreya. And then he also must have met Yadus and headed by Krishna. Hmm. Then he asked about Krishna's palace, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Krishna, Balaram, about everybody he's asking. You will see that. So when people meet with each other, naturally, what is the central subject matter of talk in Guhyamakati Prichati, if you see? Initially, it begins with very superficial things. Like, for example, uh, you offer a Manchakalpatarubesa, they also do Manchakalpatarubesa, you offer obeisances. It begins with that. And then you may talk about general thing. Many people talk about climate. Yeah, summer is very hot. People say summer is supposed to be hot only now. Supposed to be cold, isn't it? People ask about rains in your place. How was the rains? People ask about family, job situation. So, in general, many times the exchange for the sake of formality, which as we say, that happens very easily. amongst the people, which even without any deep relationship, anybody can do. It's not very difficult, that kind of thing. But when my spiritual master was saying that the relationships actually become deep when Vaishnavas do spiritual activities by coming together. For example, if you chant and dance together, if you hear Srimad Bhagavatam together, if you render some services together, like Krishna and Sudama, they rendered services together. Correct, no? They were bringing that firewood, correct? And they were also catching each other's hands. So they were doing that together. And the relationship became, the emotional bonds develop in that when they render service together. We don't forget it very easily. So and so Prabhu or Mata, you will see that they have served over a period of, even after 10 years, for 20 years, you remember those days. Like me and Gaurang Prabhu were living at the end of, on the outskirts of Pune, you know. So we used to go together for preaching, to certain places. So I'll tell you one little story. There is one house of one Dadich Colonel. This Dadich Colonel is a retired army officer, and he had a son, and they're, I think they're from Rajasthan, I think. So this colonel used to love me very much. He was very fond of me. Somehow we met, and then he told his son that bring Radheshyamji to our house. Let's do a program. So I first went to his house, and 3, 4 people will be sitting. He would call the neighbors. Then I told him that why don't you call more people? Your colony is so nice, and so many people are living, well-to-do people, and his house will be made of marble and everything, very nice. So, and he would tell his story also that I come in Dadich lineage. And you all know who is Dadich, correct, no? He gave his bone for the devatas to kill Vritrasura, like that. So I used to tell him, see, you come in Dadich's family, he gave the bone. At least you should build a temple for Krishna. Correct? No? I used to, he will say, we will give charity, we'll give charity. He will say like that. So one day, I decided to take Gaurang Prabhu with me. So I told Dadish Prabhu that make sure you call as many people as possible. He's a very, very special speaker, not like me. He's my friend who is more learned, I'll bring. So that day we both went. Nobody had come. And Dadish Prabhu was coolly sitting in easy chair. Mm. And his son was there, son's wife and small baby. And Gaurang Prabhu asked, the program kidhar hai? Is it in terrace? He was asking, is it in terrace? Yeah. I said, maybe let me check out. So then I went and asked the Dajish Prabhu, where is the program? I told him I'm bringing my very special friend. He said, then he called Gaurang Prabhu, he asked about his this thing, whereabouts and everything. Then he said, देखो वो पूजा रूम है, आप दोनों जाओ बैठो कीर्तन करो. And he said like that. Then I said, is there a program you're calling somebody? He said, no, we didn't call anybody today. And we were a little busy with our thing. They took very casually. So me and Gaurangpo went in, and we did little. I was doing 10 minutes kirtan. Gaurangpo said, "Chalo, abhi nikalte hain abhi." Immediately we left. Gaurangpo gave me a good pinch. He said, "Hey, you called me for a program. Is this the program you're running?" So I said, "Sukha dukha samaya kritva labha labho jaya jaya." See, Krishna will teach us we have to be equipoised in happiness and. I told him, see, one time I came, there were 12 people were there. Sometimes 15 people also come. But these people have to call. But I used to follow them up on phone and push them. When I push, people come. If I fail to push, they don't call. Very cool family. But see, when we go for preaching together, just like Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu were preaching together and following up Jagai Madai, correct, no? Very fun, great fun it is. And we go, and also we used to go to, you know, devotees' homes also, and together do kirtan also we were doing. Those were, they would call all the other devotees. So going together and doing service together develops a very thick bond, relationship with devotees, and it will last for, impression will last for a very long time. So chanting together, taking part in kirtans together, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam together, and also rendering services together. These are the things which bring devotees' hearts closer. bringing heart close is not very easy with superficial relationships. When we have something in common, Maharaj says that these are things which bring us closer. And what brings the most close to you is when we struggle together to achieve some common goal for Prabhupada mission, or for the pleasure of Guru. When people, a few bunch of people come together and they struggle together, that means you're sharing the struggles with one another. So we have a struggle that is a common struggle, and both are making that effort. So I'll just show you something here. So you recite this verse. Vayam vrisham tatra mahanilambubir nihanyamana mahurambu samplave Yushovidanto taparasparam vane Grihitahasta paribabri. See here, Krishna and Sudama are catching their hands, and also, what are they carrying? On the right side picture is, yeah? Wood, yeah, firewood carrying. So the firewood represents Guru's mission, hmm, and catching the hand represents loving relation. So mission and loving relation. Both should go hand in hand for genuine relationships to develop very deeply. So the motto of ISKCON is more devotees, happy devotees. So happy devotees is based on relationship. And more devotees happens when you focus on the mission, and when you expand the mission. So more devotees means reach everyone, engage everyone. That is more devotees. For example, in Pune, how much population? 50 lakhs, is it? 50 lakhs. So reach 50 lakh people and engage everybody in Krishna consciousness. What is that? That is more devotees. That means you have 50 lakh devotees, correct? No? And then engage everyone. Sorry, happy devotees means counseling, care and counsel. Correct? No? That is happy devotees. These two, more devotees, happy devotees. These two things together. So Krishna and Sudama catching hand, what is it? Happy devotees. And carrying firewood? Yeah, that is mission. That's mission. Yeah. So here, constantly busied by the powerful wind and rain, we lost our way amidst the flooding waters. We simply held each other's hands and in great distress wandered aimlessly about the forest, he says. See, here is Uddhava and Krishna. Krishna is clasping Uddhava's hand. This clasping is a sign of love. And Uddhava is very intimate friend of Krishna and devotee of Krishna also. So, and as you all know, Uddhava is not an ordinary person. Mantrinam, Vrishninam Prabharo Mantri, Krishnasya Daita Saka, Shishyo Brihaspati Sakshat, Uddhavo Buddhi Sattama. It is these four lines, each of them glorify Uddhava's special, unique qualities. So, Vrishninam Prabharo Mantri means he is the chief minister amongst the ministers of Krishna in Dwaraka. And he is a very dear Saka of Krishna. Daita Saka means very, very intimate and dear. And Shishya Brihaspati Sakshat means he is a disciple of Brihaspati, who is the chief of, who is the guru of the demigods. Uddhava Buddhi Satama means his buddhi is very difficult to estimate how unfathomable intelligence he has. So, Krishna is here choosing him for one very important task. Anybody knows what is it? Why is he clasping his hands and what is he about to tell him? Huh? Go to Vrindavan, he told them. Anybody can say why he wanted to send him to Vrindavan? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. He's of the bluish color, that's all? Is that the one? Krishna thought that Uddhava is very learned in all the Vedic literature. Let him, experience the spontaneous Braja Bhakti of the gopis. That was Krishna's plan, let him learn. But he wanted him to learn that for another reason. Anybody knows? Why he wanted him to learn the Braja Bhakti and come? Though as such is a very, very advanced devotee also. He's not just a jnani, he's a devotee also. One verse in 11th canto, Krishna tells him, Uddhava, you are dear to me more than Shiva also. more than Brahma also, more than Lakshmi also, more than myself also, he says. In the 11th canto, that's one verse he says. Which means he's not an ordinary person. He's also devotee only, but he wanted him to learn, especially Vraja Bhakti. Do you know why? See, whenever Lord appears in this world and goes back to his abode, he will leave behind some devotee. Similarly, one devotee whom he left behind was Uddhava. Similarly, when Lord Rama went, he left behind another devotee. Anybody knows? Hanuman, yeah. So you may wonder why Lord is so cruel to these devotees. Huh? He goes to his abode taking everybody else and leaves one devotee behind, but that is always having a purpose. When Lord Ram left Hanuman behind, Hanuman gave the war cry by staying in the flag of uh, Arjuna's chariot, isn't it? He was already victorious, and now he also is going to make the Mahabharata war also victorious. Huh? You will see that. And also Hanuman had other tasks Ram had given him. Similarly, here Uddhava was given one very special task. Anybody knows? What is the special homework that Krishna gave him?
Direct the message to sages in the Lord.
Badrikasham, yeah.
Directed Vidura to go to make a lesser Visarga narration was done by Devotional. And Uddhava
Uddhava also did that. At the same time, the chief reason for holding Uddhava back is Krishna said, I have never said no to anybody who remembered me or invited me. Uh, but these sages in the Badrikashram, they have given a special request to me, and I had told them that I will meet them. But I am not able to meet them. But I have a request to you, Uddhava. And nobody can be a better representative than you for me. And those sages have perfected their life completely. There's only one thing they don't know, which is Vraja Bhakti. Spontaneous loving service. Raga Bhakti, they don't know. Everything else they know. So I want you to go and deliver it to those sages in Badrikashram. That was Krishna's request. But here in this picture, what you see, he is clasping Uddhava's hands and giving the message to the gopis, and he is going to go and deliver. That means he is representing Krishna to the gopis. Correct, no? So he actually gave only one chit only, small chit, but Uddhava gave 3 months purport to that. Elaborated it more. What was there in the line? In that line, Krishna only wrote one thing. Since I am present in the heart of all living beings, my dear gopis, you can never be separated from me. That's all he gave. But then Uddhava gave a big, elaborate purport along with pastimes of Krishna for that. So, in this way, one can have genuine friendship like Krishna and Uddhava. They both are lovers of each other, and they're concerned about each other, well-wishers of each other. Just like Krishna and Sudama, I told you. Krishna and Sudama friendship, I didn't elaborate it because you all know very well what kind of thick friendship they had. So here you see, by serving Guru's mission together, they both earned a very good name from the Guru. Please all of you repeat. Aho he putra kayuyam asmadarte ti dukkitaha atma vai praninam preshthas tamanadrityamat paraha. Oh, my children, you have suffered so much for my sake. Asmadarte ati dukkitaha. You have put your sweat and toil going to the forest and picking up the firewood on a heavy rainy day. You were stranded in the jungle and you could not come back in the night. You were ready to face the dangers with and ferocious animals in the forest. And next day morning, when sun rose in the east, Guruji went searching for the children and he found them and he brought them back. For every living being, Atma vai prananam precious. For them, very dear. Their own body is very dear. But anadritya matparaha, for my sake, you completely disregarded your own comfort and you served me. I am very pleased with both of you, he says. So in this way, they both earned the blessings of Guru by serving together in Guru's mission. And then he is blessing them. Tushtoham bodvijasreshtaha satya santu manorataha chandamsi ayatayamani bhavantiha paratracha. Tushtoham means I am very satisfied with you, both of you, boys. Satya Santu Manoratha, may all your desires be fulfilled, like that is blessing them. And may the Krishna conscious wisdom which you attained in the ashrama, Gurukula, that remain ever fresh for you, he's saying, all your life. How do you know Krishna consciousness is fresh in a devotee's life? It's very easy phenomenon it is. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line, how enthusiastic a devotee is for coming in association of other devotees. How enthusiastic he is to chant and dance, how enthusiastic he is to glorify Krishna, how important is spiritual life for that person. Mm. On the other hand, we find when people are not so, I mean, the Krishna consciousness is not fresh, you know, in the first 2 3 years, people are very into, and they even go to the point of initiation also. But after initiation, post initiation, you find gradually they become covered over. And then down the line, after 10 15 years, you see they become pretty dull in spiritual life, and many material priorities come up. They become enthusiastic to talk about money making, and they talk about, material relationships. And the fact that they are initiated by a guru, is not visibly seen in their house or in their life or in their enthusiasm. Huh? They got very much. So in Bombay, they did one research on who are the initiated devotees who are not so well in touch with devotees, and not coming for the council meetings, not coming to temple. They've lost the kind of enthusiasm. They made a long list and they were trying to follow up. We follow up new people. We had to follow up the older devotees also. They're initiated. Maybe if somebody inspires them, they will come back and do again. So, and you rarely see them wearing a tilak, over a period of time. Slowly, mustache comes, beard also comes, everything comes. So they may be even initiated in ISKCON, and they may say, 20 years ago I was coming, I did this. They may say like that. So sometimes the knowledge doesn't remain fresh. But if knowledge is fresh, you'll be practicing Krishna consciousness at every moment. So that blessing these boys got, for the service they rendered to Guru. So in this way, so see, here comes the point of relationship. Kimasmavir anirvrittam deva deva jagat guru bhavata satyakamena yesham vaso gururabhut. So he's saying, Brahmana Vacha. Sudama is telling Krishna that how blessed and how fortunate. He's saying, what could I possibly have failed to achieve, O Lord of Lords, O Universal Teacher, since I was able to personally live with you, whose every desire is fulfilled at the home of our spiritual master. See, here comes the point of we value the friendship, we value that relationship with a grateful heart. Then only the relationship remains thick, and it develops even more and more. So in the Guhyamakya Prichati, you will see, if you see Krishna and Sudama, what they talked about, one thing they talked about is about the Gurukula days. This information I told you now is about their Gurukula days. How we both studied together. We went to forest. Do you remember that particular day? We went to the forest. We got stranded in the forest, and then Guru Maharaj came, and next day morning. So keeping Guru in the center, you know, the both of them are remembering their Gurukula days very fondly, because they have rendered service together and they have studied together. Correct, no? So the vicinity and the service and the friendship has made them develop emotional bonds. Even after many years, they're remembering it like that. Uh, and also, Krishna is recollecting some specific qualities of the Brahmana. He's telling that, hey, Sudama, you never had any material desires. You were always very simple. You are utterly simple. You never made any demands. I know you have been such a Brahman even from our Gurukula days. He's saying. Similarly, Sudama remembers some of the Krishna's qualities also. So, therefore, if somebody want to learn this topic of relationship among devotees, what is the first thing we need? I've written here. Yeah, we have to feel the need of devotees in our life. See, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is he doing? Uh, there are devotees coming from Navadvip, correct, no? To Jagannath Puri. This is Gambira, this one. Who is on his right side sitting behind him? Who is that? Advaita Prabhu. Advaita Prabhu. You see the beard and the hair, you see that? Yeah. Similarly, there are many other Vaishnavas also. You may not exactly know the names. Huh? Yeah. Correct. This is actually Mahaprabhu meeting all the Bengali Vaishnavas one by one. He meets. He actually he goes to Atarnala and welcomes them. That's one distinct incident. But after they come, after the Rath Yatra, before they leave, There is one chapter which explains about, he called Nityanpu and spoke to him. He called Advaita Charpu, spoke to him. This is before that event. Before that, everybody is together in the room. Later on, they will go back and one by one, he will call and talk to them also. You find it. So Mahaprabhu had a very, very deep relation, one-on-one with many, all these Bengali Vaishnavas from uh, Bengal. So you will see that, see, we all come from educated background. In educated background, sometimes it so happens that we don't feel a very strong need to seek blessings of any Vaishnavas, or we don't feel a very strong need for others in our life also many times. We are many times into our own rut, we may be very busy. Now the life has become even more busy because of global connectivity. Uh, Many people are connected to people across the globe and not to the neighbor also, or not to the people in the same family also. uh, In the same family, you will find two brothers, one brother sitting in that room and writing WhatsApp message, another fellow sitting here and writing. And they both have friendships outside and not within the family also. You will see that. So life style has changed a lot. But when we feel the need of devotees in our life, if any of us feel that, you know, the beauty of relationship is such that it can be started at any point of time in your life. It is not that, Prabhuji, this thing should have been done in the early days. Have you gone out those good old days? Now, how can relationship be begun? Any relationship can be begun from any point of time. I'll give you evidence for this. You will see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never knew Ramandrai before. On the request of Tirumati, he went to South India. At the Godavari bank, he met him. And what an amazing relationship blossomed in their connectivity. And the result was Mahaprabhu said, you resign from here and you come to Jagannath Puri and stay with me. Enough of your governorship now. I found such a great friend in you, and we both can discuss Krishna Katha day and night. You come. Correct or not, isn't it? Mahaprabhu said that. And then he also, when Pratapadra heard that Ramandrai wants to come here to Puri, you know, so then he gave pension to him also. He gave him a big pension. He told, yes, you can stay in Jagannath Puri. He said, you will see that. Similarly, you will also find when the Bengali Vaishnavas came to Puri after Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu was not in Puri before, he was in Navadvip, correct? But after he came to Puri, both Vaishnavas didn't know each other. Like Sarvabhattacharya and Gopinath Acharya, they both were standing on the roof with the king. The king was asking, who is that effulgent personality in the front, elderly personality, who is leading the Bengali Vaishnavas group? That was Advaita Acharya Prabhu. So even Gopinath or Bhattacharya said, even I don't know, he said. Our Gopinath Acharya knows all of them, he said. So Gopinath Acharya one by one describes who is who, how great, wonderful Vaishnavas they are, which means the Vaishnavas get introduced to one another, and then based on the resonance principle, we say, you know what is resonance? You take two forks, one vibrates, the other one also vibrates, then there is a sound produced. You see that? So when two hearts resonate, uh, that means you are able to benefit from the association of the other. Then you long for that association, and you would like to know more, and you connect voluntarily. Both people connect voluntarily, and in this there is no age barrier also in this. For example, Srinivas Acharya, uh, he had a disciple Ramachandra Kaviraj, correct, no? So our Narottam Thakur considers Ramachandra Kaviraj his friend, whereas it is like, uh, you know, he is like a father for him, correct, no? It's like he is here, that kind of connection. But he feels a great friendship with him. Ramachandra Sangamage, Narottama Das, he says like that. So, mm, therefore, sometimes there may be age difference, but the heart match is what that matters the most. So, see, here he says here, though one usually ignores others in attaining one's own goals, those aspiring for prema accept dependence on others with similar goals and tastes. Thus, cooperating with each other, they work together, keeping in mind the goal of prema. Jiva Goswami says in Madhava Mahatsava, he says that although generally the jnanis and yogis, they ignore other people when it comes to spiritual goal. Because, every yogi will have this wooden staff, you said, like this. Oh, you have seen that? And everywhere you'll be sitting in one tree, you'll find them. They will never come together. Jnanis also, they study Upanishads and Vedanta and everything. They will never come together. Every fellow is individual because every speculator is called as a Muni. Every Muni is unique and they don't match with others, and there's always quarrel when they come together. But in the Vaishnava's path, it is totally different. Those aspiring for prema accept dependence on others with similar goals and tastes. The taste is the rasas, goal is the back home, back to Godhead. All of them want to go back to Godhead and serve the Lord together. Hmm. Like you see, when gopis were proud in the rasa dance, Krishna disappeared, right now. So 8 reasons Krishna gave why he disappeared. One of the reasons is he wanted the gopis to be united. Earlier they were divided, thinking that Krishna is only with me. So he wanted them to be united in grievance also, they should be united. That's one reason he said. Another reason he said he wanted to enhance their love by disappearing and watching invisibly. He was watching them invisibly, but they didn't see him. So that this is the goal I was telling you, that they were all united in searching after Krishna, singing the Gopi Gita, correct, no? So here it says that those aspiring for prema accept dependence on others with similar goals and tastes. So they rejoice in such dependence. Now, how does the dependence come about? You will see Mahaprabhu wants to go to South India for preaching. He is seeking the permission and blessings of all Vaishnavas, correct? And they are telling him, now it is, uh, Rath Yatra is coming, you can go after Rath Yatra. Then after Rath Yatra, they said the winter season is very cold. And they said this Dola Yatra is coming, which is holy time. So he was thinking they're postponing more and more. At one point of time, Mahaprabhu called Saruda Mother and said, and then he left early in the morning, correct, no? So there you find Mahaprabhu's dependence on the Vaishnavas. You all may be aware that Mahaprabhu refused to take Gadadhar Pandit with him, correct, no? Gadadhar Pandit fainted unconscious. In that trip, Mahaprabhu could not go to Vrindavan. And then Mahaprabhu went to Ramkeli and came back. When he came back, he told Gadadhar Pandit, because I made you cry and I behaved harshly with you, so Krishna did not allow me to enter Vrindavan, like that he says. Which goes to show Mahaprabhu's dependence on the Vaishnavas. You can see that. And also Mahaprabhu, you will see, he sits and studies Bhagavatam with Gadadhar Pandit and others. There is one very nice picture I can show you later. I have that picture also. I'll check whether I can locate that. It's very nice. Madhilya. See there? Let us see who can find out who is who. Who is Gadadhar Pandit in this? Anybody can say? One who is keeping the book in the front, that's Gadadhar Pandit. And by the left hand side of Gadadhar Pandit, who are sitting? Nityanpo is sitting. And then next to Nityanpo is? This side Mahaprabhu and that side Advaita is sitting. Yeah. Haridas Thakur is standing, correct. That's true, yeah. Rup Sanatan are sitting in the front. No? See, two brothers are sitting in the front. You can see that. Who is that fellow offering obeisances? Pratapadra. Isn't it? So this is a regular feature. Mahaprabhu would go to the home of, go to Tota Gopinath. And always he will hear. Yeah, I also want to find out who is that. Yeah.
Actually,
Mm.
this painting was said to be commissioned by Pratapadra only.
Is it? I drew it.
Original painting is there.
Yeah.
This is a modified version of that.
Okay. Okay.
But in that, everyone is named it.
Is it? Name is also there. Wonderful.
I think that, yeah.
Who are these behind Gadadhar Pandit?
I forgot, but it is named.
They are there. But if we can use this picture. Yeah, that's. Actually, Sarmadacharya, whether he goes for this class, I'm not sure. Let's check. But our Mukundanpu can use this picture for Bhagavatam study circle. Correct? Na? Or your propaganda. Correct? Na? People. Because who is hearing Bhagavatam? Mahaprabhu himself is hearing Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. In this way, Mahaprabhu is depending on, Vaishnava association. You can see that. That's cooperating with each other. They work together, keeping in mind the goal of prema. Similarly, you all have heard Gada, or Sanatana Goswami was sitting with many Brahmanas and Vaishnavas and studying Bhagavatam. How many of you have heard Advaita Acharya Prabhu in his house used to invite Vishwarup Prabhu, and with other Vaishnavas he would study also Bhagavatam? That means there is one verse which says thick relationships develop when people come together and study Bhagavatam. Please, you all can repeat after me. Parasparanu kathanam pavanam bhagavad yashaha mitoratirmitastushtis nivrittirmita atmanaha. See, very simple meaning. Parasparanu kathanam. When devotees come and sit in a circle and they all discuss Bhagavatam. Pavanam Bhagavad Yasha means it's very, very sanctifying and holy. Bhagavad Yasha means the glories of Lord Krishna. Mito Rati means what? Affection. Affectionate relationship develops between those who come together and study. Mita Tushti means what? Tushti? Satisfaction. Nivrittir means freedom from misery. Freedom from sense gratification, which is a cause of misery. So, three things happen. They develop thick, loving relationship with one another. They also become completely satisfied. Satisfied means they don't have any hankering. Happy also, yeah. Happy and, yeah. And then nivritti means they become free from sense gratification, which is the cause of misery. Yeah, material desires, yeah. This is the 11th canto. Paraspara Anukatanam. Very famous verse it is. 11.330, yeah. 11.330. So, in this way, I was telling you, in the beginning, devotees just come together and study the Bhagavatam. And in the Guhyamaketi Prichati, what happens? Initially, you may talk about the scriptures. Then you will talk about practical life, application of the scripture. You will talk to each other. Then as you talk about application, one may ask, what should a devotee do if a devotee becomes angry? Like that you will ask. And then he may give some answer. And you may ask, what if a devotee is very greedy to accumulate more and never satisfied? He may ask, and you may answer. And they will become so thick in relation, they will say, Prabhuji, what if I feel angry? What I should do? That means the relationship has become very thick. Somebody says, Prabhu, what if I am never satisfied? You say, no, any amount of accumulation, I am so greedy. So how can I put a full stop to this rat race, and how I can become more dedicated devotee of Krishna? Like that, when one asks, So in this way, you will see that then the Vikyamakata Prasad becomes more intimate. They are ready to actually present their deficiencies to one another, and they are ready to take inspiration from one another. Hey, he gets up so early in the morning, he distributes books like this, he does this service, she does this service. So you will see that when we come in the association and share with each other, we become very inspired. See, one small thing I will show you, which will very much inspire you. See, this is a family called Leelananda Prabhu. This one, Leelananda Prabhu, his father and mother, his good wife is standing here, and the two children, two sons. So this personality is preaching in this area. What do you call it? Gachibowli area. So he is, see, Sunday he does sessions between 5 to 8. 5 to 8 he does session every Sunday, Hyderabad. Shivaji Prabhu, it goes like this, everybody is not able to see.
Reporting on Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah. See here, then they made this Bhakti Workshop programs. You can see this, these are different programs. First program, second program. Giriraj Prabhu, Lavanya Mataji, Subara Prabhu, Nirma Mataji, Udyanand Prabhu, Sarita Mataji. Like that goes on. These are all different programs. Started from one program. And here you will find they go to the colonies. In each colony they are doing Rathayatra now. They bring 3,000 people. They are doing 5 Rathayatras they are doing. 2,000 to 3,000 people they are getting in each colony. And they conduct Bhagavad classes. What he has done with these people, I'll show you in one page, on one slide, everybody will be there. I'll show you. These are all youth preaching also these people are doing in colleges. They are helping. It's one-time program at all. This many preachers, yes, and many of them are also congregation preachers. And they have Goshala also. Everybody has adopted a cow, one cow. Many of the congregation leaders. And here you will see, where is this? This is Bhagavatam sets. They started with 32, then 57 sets, next year 130, then 198 sets. So I used to go there to do that program. So yeah. So these people, they have this group of devotees. They regularly meet the leaders. They come together, have a very thick relationship because of coming together and studying Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam together in group. Within their equal friends coming together. So these are the people I was telling you. Those are preachers. These different couples I'm showing. These people. Yeah. So now, therefore, I was telling you about Bhagavatam coming and studying together. That's one thing. And one, the Guhimakati Prachati, there are examples of very intimate dealing, I'll tell you. For example, Hanuman and Sita, when they were talking in the beginning, Sita was very suspicious in relation with Hanuman. Correct, no? Yeah. When the monkey was singing a very nice song in glorification of Rama, she enjoyed that song. She didn't know where is it coming from. Then Hanuman saw that all the Rakshasas have slept, and then he jumped down. And then he saw Mother Sita became very happy with him. But in the course of singing Rama's glories, Hanuman came little closer. Suddenly she developed suspicion. She said, "Hey monkey, I think you are Ravana." She said, "I cannot trust you. Maybe you are slowly winning my heart. And you are, you are getting a place in my heart. And then suddenly you will reveal that you are Ravana." Like that she said. "So I cannot trust you." Like that she said. Hanuman started crying. How can I prove to my mother that I'm Ramadut? Yeah. So then, what Hanuman did? Immediately Hanuman took out the ring and gave it to Mother Sita. And when Sita saw the name engraved in it, Rama, probably Mother has to go, she has to go. So Rama name was written. And Sita took it and kept it in her eyes and kept it in her head. She wept tears of love. Because she remembered that this was the ring which united Ram and Sita one long before in the palace. So when Sita had gone to Man, that time Ram purposely played a trick on her by throwing this ring in one corner and searching it in another corner. And Sita said, "See, your ring is here, you are searching there." She said. Ram said, Where? I don't know where." Then Sita took the ring and showed it to him. As soon as Ram looked at the ring and looked at her, she looked at him, and then the man was finished. She said, "This is the ring which united me and Ram. Thank you for bringing this. I feel as if you have brought Ram to me," she said. I heard this first time lecture. Today only I heard. Is it? Attraction. Yeah. And this is spiritual romance. You can meditate on it a million times. So, after that, she said, "Since you have proven yourself as the Ramadut, now I will reveal some confidential things to you," she said. And then she said about that Jayantu, son of Indra, who came as a crow and tried to peck her, and then Ram hurled grass towards him, which became like lightning streak. All that pastime, she said, "Go and tell this to Ram. If Ram hears this, he'll be so happy. He'll remember me very much," she said. And then she gave Chudamani. Correct, no? She took Chudamani. What do you call the Chudamani? Chudamani, yeah? Chudamani. English or Chudamani? English word. Whatever it is, you all know what it is. Yeah. So I took Chudamani and gave it to him, and then passed it as my memory of Rama. Yeah. So, so here you can find, after that, Hanuman told, Mother, why are you crying here? I will take you right away now. Huh? I can take you to Rama. Within a couple of hours, you will see it, Rama. Huh? You will get. She said, No, no, no. She said, You are a small monkey. How can you carry me? Huh? Then Hanuman showed his Panchamukhi Hanuman, huge form. Huh? See, this is how the relationships develop. Hanuman showed his prowess. Huh? And then he proved his prowess. After that also she said, No, no, no. If you take me, Rakshasas may attack you and I may slip and fall in the ocean. I am afraid of ocean. And she said, I cannot be touched by any man other than my own husband. These reasons she gave. But Acharyas have defeated all these statements. Because she is a Samudra Putri, no? How can she be afraid of Samudra? Isn't it? Similarly, Hanuman is like her son. A son carrying mother is no problem at all. So, nevertheless, she wanted Rama to come and defeat Ravana and take her. So she said, Thank you, Hanuman, for coming and helping me maintain my life. Which means, Guhyamakati Prachati gives life to us. It gives, both the parties should induce each other's Krishna consciousness. They become inspired with one another. So, so then the relationship becomes very intimate and fulfilling and very relishable. So, in this way, uh, see, this is what I told you. Come in association of devotees, discuss Krishna Katha, heart is purified, satisfaction and happiness comes, loving friendships are developed, and encouraging each other leads to complete eradication of material desires. This is the Parasparanukathanam verse purport. From there I got this point. What amazing things happen when we come in association of devotees and develop genuine relationships. So, three things are required for a relationship to develop, and one thing is very important to give up in developing relationship, and that I have explained here. You see, what throws us out of association, which is fault finding. Fault finding, when we practice devotion service in passion and ignorance, the false ego creeps in and keeps us away from association of devotees. Thus, the necessary purification of heart and eradication of material desires does not happen. You understand, no? That means once we get into a fault finding mode towards each other, we go on a false ego trip. Then we keep away from association, and then the heart doesn't get purified, material desires crop up, and then in this way, the healthy association doesn't happen. So then I explained all these things, Mahat and all this. See, here is an example of family culture. What is this pastime? It is Panihati festival. Okay, any of you can say how it is family culture. Who can say? Why it is family culture? Here. If you look at the picture, you will see that. See, you will see Raghunath Das is a multi-millionaire. If you go to his house for special program, what type of prasadam you can expect? Paneer sabji. Isn't it 15 course fees or 20 course fees? But they were all given, what they were given? Dahichida. Simple. Was there any complaint from the devotees? Hey, we are coming to millionaire's house, you are giving dahichida? It's the cheapest thing, isn't it? Not only that, some of the Vaishnavas could not get place in the bank of Ganga. So where are they sitting? In the Ganga they are sitting, which means in Vaishnava relationship you adjust and go. Adjust. Even if you have to sit in water, I don't complain. No complaint in relationships. We go on. Adjust and go, yeah. And all the Vaishnavas came only for one purpose, to bless Raghunath Das. They had no other motivation in coming there. So in Vaishnava relationship, you need selflessness in relationship. We desire to benefit the person to whom we are going to. So they were selfless in attitude. They were adjusting in sitting in water. They were most happy and joyful in Sangha and did not mind a simple prasada. If you go to somebody's house, they give just simple poha they give. Still, one should be happy that I didn't go for just eating, I went for association. And things like that. It's family culture. So, in this way, I spoke many things. I don't want to have a memory overflow. So, You can remember this thing. This is very conducive for loving relationship. Please read this, one of you. H for unforgiveness. E for encouragement. A for appreciation. R for respect. T for tolerance. Then you are a devotee with heart. Huh? Then relationships are very easy to develop. What is the difference between encouragement and appreciation? Anybody can say? What is the difference between the two? Are they same? Yes?
Encouragement is when a person has an ability to do something but is not feeling confident of doing it.
Correct.
To encourage.
Yes.
Appreciation means whatever quality he has, he appreciate that. He knows that.
Uh-huh. Oh, you are saying in one case he
contribution also and work also be appreciated.
See, appreciation means recognizing the good work done, already done. That appreciation comes after a person has done the good work. Then you give a pat on the back and say, wow, you've done a good job. You've done good book distribution. You've done good, like that. Encouragement means seeing good potential. Like Jambavan saw some potential in Hanuman and he said, encouraged him. That is encouragement. And appreciation means after Hanuman found out information about Sita and came to Ram, Ram embraced him and appreciated him. That is recognizing the good work done. Similarly, respect means valuing a person, when we value the other person. And also tolerance means, we don't expect everything to match. There'll be some differences, tolerate the differences and go on. Don't highlight that difference, highlight the commonality. And humility and forgiveness also. So these are very, very conducive qualities for building up good relationships. And unnecessary fault finding and blaspheming, that distances the relationships. So this way, Guhyamagati Prichati, as I told you, it starts with talking Shastra, then practical application of Shastra, then the real life challenges that we face. We may not say I am facing, but we may say somebody is facing what they should do. But then when it comes, eventually we may say, even I want to learn more about this. How do you do this? How are you? When I saw Rasagar Prabhu's schedule, I was stunned. Morning to night, what an amazing schedule he has. Huh? Yeah. Huh? Yeah, amazing. Every minute is timed, in his life, morning to night. And he accomplishes a lot in one day. Huh? And also there is time for family, there's time for studies, time for job. Very good planning. Sometime I will request Prabhuji to share that with our group. Tatman, I'm going to put, if you send it, they can see also. That's one of your cards. This thing. Yeah, others will be very inspired. He is timed it every day. He knows what he will do in any time of the day. Very interesting. Is it? How one can be so disciplined, isn't it? Actually, people call me disciplined. I am ashamed. I was disciplined. I'm not so disciplined. Now there are too many programs. I get overwhelmed with 6 programs, 7 programs a day. But he has a very good balance. He will not take overload, everything on time. Time pe karna, time pe sona, time pe karna. Very good it is. So, now why am I telling you? Because he sends me a report, I get to see, now I can admire him. Correct, no? This is what happens in relationship. When people come together, read together, they open up and discuss, then understanding and appreciation for one another will increase. He says that. Okay, quickly what we will do, you all can give one takeaway point. Today, what are it? Okay. My man.
Examples that we see, what we see is it's a one-time interaction. Like Mother Sita and Hanumanji, they are meeting, or Krishna meeting Sudama. Many times these are one time, and after a prolonged period of time, that interaction takes place.
Good question.
And it's quite easy to be very spiritual in that interaction. But what happens with devotee communities, large number of devotees, we like face each other in the morning, shorts in the afternoon. I mean, we are just staying together as a community. So how to take, this mood of being...
In my understanding, if you have to be with the devotee regularly, we say, no, ati prachayat, avajnat. That's one verse also, Sannikar Sho Atra Matrena Anadarana Karanam. The 10th and 10th canto. Narada Muni says that. Actually, because Vasudeva comes to Narada and is asking him, can you please tell me some religious principles that I need to follow? Narada Muni looked up and down and said, what do you have to follow? You got Krishna as your son, you know. What more religious principle you need to do? You are doing parodharma now. There's nothing beyond parodharma. At that time, Narada Muni makes a statement. Because Vasudeva is too familiar with Krishna, therefore he doesn't know the value of having Krishna as a son. He thinks, I am not as advanced as the saintly people who are doing so many religious rituals. He's thinking. There he says that familiarity sometimes leads to disrespect. Either he says. So, therefore, in our dealings also, one of the things that we have to be very careful about is not unnecessarily resort to fault finding. Fault finding is one thing that chokes the bliss in relationship because we want everybody to be like us, and we don't want them to be having some uniqueness or difference from us. So, inability to learn to live with differences, So that is one of the reasons that chokes. Another thing, not able to see that spiritual personality. Now I see when I talked about him. Now I am seeing a spiritual personality. The more I see him, my respect for him increases. And from a material personality, everybody has deficiency. You know, and when we highlight our attention on those deficiencies, then the relationship becomes choked. Mm. So therefore we say, Guru Vaishnava Jati Buddhi. We say, Arche Vishnu Shiladir, Guru Naramatir, Vaishnava Jati Buddhi, Vishnurva Vaishnavanam Kalimala Matane, Padadityam Buddhi, Sri Vishnu Namne Sakala Kalushike, Shabde Samanya Buddhi. And then he's saying, Sri Vishnu Taditara Samadhi, Yasyava Naraki Saha. So he says all these things, considering deity to be ordinary, or considering Guru's body to be ordinary, Vaishnava body to be based on Jati Buddhi, like that he says, no? So it's all material outlook. So one I told you, fault finding, another one I told you, material outlook. Okay, now how can we see the spiritual personality? Putting Bhagavatam in the center. Because when we have Bhagavatam in the center, different devotees come and they study together. Then you understand the convictions of different devotees. Oh, I didn't know that this devotee is so deeply situated. See his realization, how fine it is. I don't have that realization she has. How sincere this devotee is. So every devotee starts developing genuine spiritual respect for one another, and that's where the genuine relationship develops. Otherwise, in service platform, we hurt one another very badly in service. Lot of sparks come in service. Even between Brahma and gopis also. Gopis are complaining that you created an eyelid which is blocking our vision of Krishna. What kind of creator are you? Prabhupada says the best and the first manager of the universe. Who is that? Brahmaji. And he is criticized by the best of the devotees, pure devotees or gopis. Prabhupada is saying that. That means in management, sparks come. But in spiritual relationships, uh, very great affection is developed. Yeah. So that means we see each other, like you see me as a president, temple president, you will treat me differently. You see me in spiritual relationships, see me as Radheshyamdas, a brahmacharya, spiritualist. You see me like that. Then your relationship will be different. You will see that. Because as soon as you see in a managerial role, lot of, do's and don'ts and limitations, this is sanctioned, that's not sanctioned.
Paramatma and Krishna.
Paramatma and Krishna. Isn't it? All that comes. And also what happens, we connect for many material things with other families. Because you all are living in the same locality, many material things we may have to connect for. So oftentimes the talk on material platform may be more than the opportunity for sharing spiritual talks. Many times in a community it may happen like that. So because it's necessary also. But what I have understood is once a spiritual respect develops, even in material activities also when we do, that respect will remain. But when materially we hurt each other, then you go to spiritual platform, also very difficult to develop respect. So therefore I was telling you about fault finding was one thing I said one should avoid. Which is the other one? There is one.
Material side.
Yeah. See, there is one saying in Tamil. There is one proverb. Siriyor செய்யும் சிறுபிழையெல்லாம் பெரியோராயின் பொறுப்பது கடனை. I'll tell you the meaning. See, those small people do some mistakes and the big people should tolerate them. That is the sign of a mature person. Like Prithu Maharaj and Indra. In this, who is mature? Who is immature? Prithu is mature. Prithu is mature. Indra is immature. So Prithu tolerates. then life goes on. You will see that. Then relationship can continue. But if there is no maturity, then both parties fight tooth and nail and there's no end to it. Correct? No? So, yeah. And also, I can tell you, all of you sitting here, you are all actually devotees for many, many years together. Coming together, keeping Krishna in the center will already have a very good relation, and the relationship becomes more and more enhanced by coming together. Prabhuji's can come together. Similarly, Mataji's can have Mataji's circle. My sister Vidya, with Priti, she used to have a circle of some 8 Matajis who would read Bhagavatam online. The afternoon time she would do half an hour every day. So she was telling me when she came here in this community, she was in two minds whether to continue or go back to Tamil Nadu because nobody speaks Tamil here. Very few speak Tamil here. But after she had that reading Bhagavatam together, she developed confidence that I can continue here. Then she stayed here. Mm. Now they will, of course, they want to come back here again after finishing in Canada. Bhagavatam actually gave the juice. Yeah. It's not that only one-time meetings are mentioned in Shastra. There are also like Gopinath Acharya and Bhattacharya living in the same place. Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu often spend a lot of time together. You will see that. And Mahaprabhu and Ramandrai earlier were like this. Later on they were together. Earlier he was in South, he was here. He called him to Puri. They were staying together. Nityananda and Gauranga Mahaprabhu, there are a lot of interactions in Navadvip also and in Puri also. Their love for each other is so deep and thick, Gaurnitai, isn't it? It's possible for one to have that type of sweet relationship for long, long years also. It's quite possible, yeah. Okay, let us take some takeaway points from all of you. Whoever wishes to say, take the mic. Takeaway means something you really remembered it today, you liked it very much. Yes, can like.
Coming together and reading Bhagavatam.
Very good.
So the heart is purified,
Yes.
you said. Then the devotees feel happiness and satisfaction. And that thickens the relationship between amongst the devotees.
Yes.
And this anarth nivrutti or material desires are vanquished.
Yeah, correct.
So,
very good. Thank you. You remember everything, all the 3 points that he collected. Actually, in the conference room in Camp Temple, we used to have, I remember Krishna Kishore Prabhu, even Rasundra Mataji also used to come. Many of you, Mukundan Prabhu, Shankar Prabhu, many of the devotees sitting here, even Ramdas Prabhu and Hemangop Mataji also. You used to come also. Of course, your name is goes without saying. You are already included. Sarvatma Prabhu, many of these devotees. There used to be some more devotees also. Anybody remembers who else was there in that group? Tulsi Prabhu also used to come. Yeah, correct. There were probably around 25, 30 devotees, I think. So we used to sit in a big ellipse, correct, no? So we used to discuss about many sections we discussed. Chitraketu we discussed, Vritrasura we discussed. Like that, Gajendra we discussed. Ambarish Maharaj. Yeah. Correct. Underlined portion, I would read out those portions. Yeah. And over a period of time, imperceptibly, Krishna has kept all of us together. Imperceptibly. Why I am saying this? You may not even know that it's Bhagavatam which is carrying us all together. You will see that. Otherwise, we can't see each other spiritually. Because right now, we know spiritually, we know, of course, Radheshyamdas Vamshi Gopal used to come also. Yeah. So, we, over the passing years, with whom we had a spiritual exchange, that keeps the sweetness of the relationship. Otherwise, imagine if somebody is seen totally as a material manager, you can't have any proper relation in that. Sweetness is in spirit. Therefore, we say, no, between the couple, there should be divine couple. We say, no? Maharaj says that. Because divine couple is juice, real juice, spiritual juice. Then husband and wife can also relish each other's association if they keep the divine couple in the center. Same with any Vaishnava Sangha also. Thank you. He recollected that point very well. Paraspara Anukatanam. Okay, anybody else? Any one point takeaway for you today? Take the mic. With this, we are going to conclude after the takeaway points.
Association should be satovara. Uplifting.
Uplifting, yes. Thank you. Anybody else?
Revealing mind and confidence,
is the heart of relationships.
Yes, very good. Haribol.
I like it picture where the Krishna and Sadama, you showed the two pictures.
Yeah.
One, they are carrying the stick in hand, that is the Guru's mission.
Yes.
And second, they are holding the hand, that is
Mhm.
loving relationships. So you said
Correct.
Guru's mission and loving relationships, they go hand in hand together.
Exactly, very good. And Sarvana Prabhu has the guts to say that he does so much service. He does in Guru's mission. One of the most peaceful devotees who was very, very doing a lot of seva. Yeah. Yes, and then anybody else?
It is blessing at least
Amazing, very good, yeah. And he takes care of the academics of the students also in VIT also. Yes, anybody else? Or you can give to Mataji's, they will recollect some points. Or is ready? There are too many points, I think you all know. Correct, no?
Prabhuji, you said that if we only see each other as managers,
Yeah.
or then the relationship is always have some problems and
Correct.
clashes. So only if we
Correct.
keep Krishna in the center and
Yes.
have
Krishna is the
if we
real
do-
juice.
If we do struggle with services together to
Hmm.
please the mission
Hmm.
of Prabhupada, then we become more
Exactly. Like say, for example, some of you, with your group, you try to do Bhagavad Gita contest in schools, You go and announce in the classes and sell some Bhagavad Gitas. The whole group becomes very thick, like our Rachita Keshav Prabhu, with his group. He was doing book distribution. He had a lot of realizations to share. Correct? I published that article. I read that about putting table, in the, which place you put? In Swargate you put table, eh? FC Road, yeah, correct, FC Road. So coming together and struggling together, Mataji was telling, it thickens the relationship between Vaishnavas. Very good. Thank you. Anybody else?
Fault finding kills the relationship.
Exactly.
And-
Fault finding weakens the relationship very much. Thank
and
you.
also in relationship we should tolerate,
Yes.
we should adjust and
Just adjust and go. That's true, yeah. You should know that my Guru Maharaj told me, don't say that you are tolerating, they are also tolerating you. Huh? He said it's a two-way. So we should know that I also have many deficiencies which the others are tolerating. Thank you.
You also told one point that the mature devotee tolerates that.
Yeah, correct. Is it? That fellow. Correct. Yeah.
I'm not saying so.
Yes.
That picture I liked, like of Chida Dahi festival, where you mentioned it is like family culture.
Correct.
And though like Raghunath Das Goswami was very rich, but he was serving Chida Dahi, but everyone was happy because of that family culture.
Correct. Very true. Haribol. Yes, Maji.
In relationship, both parties should inspire each other.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
You should you tell Ram and Sita and Hanuman.
That's true. Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
And Hanuman was inspiring Sita Mata by saying, I am a very low level
He called himself very insignificant.
insignificant monkey.
He was very humble also. Yeah. Very true. Thank you. Yes. Mike is coming here. Yeah.
So one point which you mentioned that we expect everybody to be like us, and that's why the relationships don't flourish.
Correct. Yeah.
So
We have to respect the
tolerate the
individual.
uniqueness of every person,
Yes.
and celebrating the differences. is
Yeah.
important.
And if they have a little inclination for devotional service, we should be happy with that. Yeah. Correct. Thank you. Who hasn't spoken? Would like to speak? Anybody? Yes. Must you speak? Yes.
Yeah, one is fault finding chokes the bliss. I think that is very nice. And also, as Prabhuji mentioned about Guhya Makyati Prachati.
You know the word Radha, no? There's two meanings. Appa Radha means Appa, one which takes one away from Radharani. Also Radha, the word Radha means bliss.
Bliss.
Appa Radha means which chokes the bliss. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The second one was about the Guhya Makyati Prachati is a very important aspect. This actually I realized that when we went to Gopinath temple for the last lecture of Maharaj, we actually sat in the same place where we used to sit years ago as unmarried girls, and sat in the same association, same way, and we had Like I was sharing with Prabhuji that we had live commentary going on by Kishori Mataji around.
Okay.
When Maharaj was commenting, and Maharaj had come for that Mukesh Ambani's cultural center opening. So Mataji was sharing with every Ram, Hanuman's details. Mataji was giving one understanding over it. So that day I really felt that this is hearing for me at least. So I realized that hearing in the association of those, like how you mentioned about Kunj Bihari days, so everybody has those attachments of hearing. So that Guhyam Akyate Prachati, sharing each other's heart, hearing in each other's association.
Correct.
So that was very nice. And also this Jiva Goswami's Madhav Mahotsav, point of dependence on Vaishnavas. Those who aspire for prema, they actually express their dependence on Vaishnavas.
They are not like jnanis or yogis thinking I'm independent or something like that. Yeah, in Vaishnava life, there is a dependence on one another. Very true.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Very vital definition it is. Yeah. Anybody else? One last? Anybody? Takeaway point means 1 point you got in the class. If you didn't get any point, that means I am a very useless teacher. Good for nothing teacher. Only 1 point also you couldn't give. Yes, Mati. Yeah. Yeah. God also, yes, Mati. Yeah.
Prabhuji, I'm very grateful for today's class. One thing that I've been contemplating from the very beginning, because when you started the talk, you spoke about Srila Prabhupada's relationship with his god brothers. So I was trying to apply everything to that, because though that there is a deep friendship, but there was also a deep rift in the friendship because of institutional differences and Prabhupada's mission, and they could not really support him overtly. Maybe inside their heart, they supported him, supported his mission, celebrated the difference, celebrated his greatness, achievements, everything. But externally, in one sense, they couldn't be there for him.
Correct.
So that pain was also there in his heart.
Yeah, correct.
But like you said, they appreciated each other very deeply on a spiritual level.
Spiritual level, that's true, yeah.
And that is what, in the end also then Prabhupada, when he was, before he departed this world, he asked them for forgiveness, and they also embraced him.
Yes.
And they're always speaking greatly about.
He said, I am Mahapatita. He said, they said, you are Mahapatita Pavan, they told him. Yeah.
So I was since the beginning, like I was applying everything he was saying to that and
Correct.
trying to understand, because you quoted that example, and that was very. It's not the first example of deep friendship that will come into the head.
Actually, and what made me say that was, Bhakti Sridhar Maharaj was there in the rooftop when Prabhupada first time returned to India. So then Prabhupada went up with Achyutananda on one hand and Kirtananda Swami on the other hand, two of them, when he went up to the terrace. So then it was a moonlit night. It was getting a little dark at night. So Bhakti Sridhar Maharaj was so happy to meet him. Oh, Swami Maharaj, he said, you have made our Guru Maharaj's words true. He always had a desire to preach in Western world. And you are our first personality in our line that you have attained such a big success in the Western preaching. And he told all his disciples, nobody would dare to do this, what he has done. He openly glorified him. And seeing that, Achyutananda and Kirtananda Swami, they were shocked. And his eyes were glistening. Bhakti Sridhar Maharaj, B.R. Sridhar Maharaj. And Prabhupada told his disciples that actually he is like my elder god brother, and he is very deeply learned in Sanskrit. In fact, I want him to come and take over ISKCON and become a president. But out of his shyness, he doesn't want to come out of India, and he wants to be here only. Like that he was telling. And next day, and then immediately news went around. Next day morning, there was a Harinam Sankirtan. So both of them, Bhakti Sridhar Maharaj and our Srila Prabhupada, they sat in a rickshaw together next to each other. Because Bhakti Sridhar Maharaj had this knee problem called, what do you call that? Arthritis. So he had difficulty bending, getting up and all that. But still, the brahmacharis were doing Harinam Sankirtan, they both came to watch, together, sitting together and going to watch that. And that was a very, very heart-rending experience for the devotees. That these two god brothers are. And Prabhupada, even in B.R. Sridhar Maharaj's absence also, Prabhupada has glorified him profusely, even before also. So, in this Achinjan Krishna Papaji, we all know very well, he and Prabhupada would talk in Bengali very much. They would laugh hours and hours, and disciples couldn't understand what are they talking. But they understood they both are happy with each other. I understood that. So my Guru Maharaj used to say that what do you feel for other Vaishnavas is more important than simply offering obeisances externally. So he says, offering obeisance is easiest, and then what we talk to each other is little more difficult, and what we feel for each other is most difficult because it is in the heart. And talking also, we can try to be polite. Offering obeisance is the easiest thing. From a distance only, Ansa Kalpa and run away. That's the easiest thing you can do to anybody, even if you don't like a person also. So then when obeisance is proper, then you go to the talking stage, then you feel very, great affection and respect and trust and love, that kind of thing we feel. So, and it will not awaken with everybody in the same manner in the world. Everybody, all of us are attracted to some devotees, and then that will be attract. But it is very important that we feel a nourishing relationship with at least a handful. In that handful of association, we feel very nice. And one important thing I said, that relationship can begin at any section of life. It is not that it is formed from the infant stage of our coming to Krishna consciousness. It depends on how two individuals make an effort to not find fault with each other, but they come together with a desire to become genuine friends. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Just wanted to share and correct answer. So for advancement means you discuss about this thick relationship with one of the devotees or many of the devotees essential. Sometimes when I find that for sometimes to advance it is necessary to have not relation with some of the devotees. So the husband type relationship are enough
good
for them.
Yeah,
It's
correct.
good for them. So for us means I mean to with them. So is it a true approach?
Is it because you feel some fellows waste your time?
Not waste means offensive, not that hard relation. The Vancha Kalpataru or manager relationships are there sometimes, are
Correct.
not the true spiritual
Correct.
bonding.
Yeah, and in fact, you find such things even in CC also. Chaitanya is also like Mahaprabhu's relation with Ramchandra Puri or with Brahmananda Bharati. It's a little distant relationship. It's not very smooth. Of course, Mahaprabhu is very smooth, but their dealing is not very this thing. So, yes, Mahaprabhu also says in one place that the loving relationships awaken with between certain people, and therefore Snigdha is used. Snigdha, Svatovara, Sajatiya, like-mindedness. So Mahaprabhu could not connect with Ramdas Vishwas, who was impersonally chanting Ram's name. So because they are Vijatiya, not Sajatiya. Correct? No? So not a problem. But we should respect all. Yes. Yeah. Everybody deserves, even if an ant deserves respect from a Vaishnava, why not anybody? Everybody deserves to be respected. Some people we can respect, some people we may be having a talking relationship, working relationship, as we say. With some people we may be having more trust, more love, and more respect, we may become more intimate. Yeah. But having a group of friends coming together, reading, hearing. Sometimes what happens, all of you are very senior people. You are all like an apex in a pyramid. Shankar Prabhu and his wife, Bangalore also they have many, here also they have. You have 200 people, 150 people sometimes taking inspiration from you. Similarly, Krishna Shapu is very senior. Here, Radhika Mataji, Vamshi Gopal was very, very senior. And then for all of you, every one of you here. So you have many people under you. But if you make a group of 4 friends or 5 friends amongst you, like for example, I'll tell you, all the IIT group has made a group. Our Achyutakeshwar Prabhu, Antardeep Prabhu, Revatipati Prabhu, Vyasacharya Prabhu, Advaita Kripa Prabhu, correct? So these people have been coming, I think once a month they have been coming together, right? They still do it. So they have become very thick friends. Antardeep Prabhu comes and shares so much joyful experiences, he tells me. They were all friends in the college days. Now they became devotees, some of them are grahasthas, some are brahmacharis. They're a very nice team now. So, and that relationship is very nourishing because we all need a higher taste. Param drishtva vardhate. As you go in, you can feel lonely at the top if you don't have friendships. Like now, for example, Gaurang Prabhu and me, we were having so much good time, fun together before. Now, if you have to meet him, so he one day suddenly he gave a call and said, Radheshyam, come to GV for 3 days. So I said my calendar is booked with so many things. Then I asked him, other 3 days I can come. He said, no, I am not here. I am going abroad. I said, so after back and forth, at last we found 2 to 3 days we found. Then I went. When he was there, then we spent a lot of time in many things we spent. We talk about Shastra, we talk about practical, we talk about Guru Maharaj, we talk about assignments abroad, we talk about dealing with juniors, we talk about dealing with tough nut people, all kinds of things we talk when we meet. So therefore, when we have, he is one friend I confide with, and then Shamanand Prabhu, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, Anant Prabhu. These are people I talk a lot when I go. But this developed in my Chopadi days. After that, yeah. Similarly, it would be, this topic is a very nice topic. Therefore, many have given. Three different devotees had written this today. Is it? I'm just gathering and keeping. You have given me assignment for the whole year. So when I come, I generally group. Oh, this is nothing written in this, I think. When I come here, I will group them, and one theme I will take when I come. So you all found it interesting, this discussion? So I will. Thank you. Acha? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you one comment, like once I was hearing like one Pune Yatra class. So where Radhanath Maharaj, the full class, there are many series of devotees sitting like Maharaj Godbrothers. And full that 1.5 hour class, Maharaj is like introducing means all the devotees. And he's glorifying so much from heart, like each one. So
he knows a lot about
so at the end of the class, you feel very spiritually blissful.
Correct.
So the way Mataji was telling, like Prabhupada's relationship with his godbrother, like when we see Maharaj's relationship with his godbrothers and the way he genuinely glorifies, that is also
very encouraging and enlivening. That's very true. Actually, more than the philosophy, people when they see the Vaishnavas have genuine affection, appreciation for another, that touches the heart very much. Very true. Yeah, correct. And one more thing I observed with Maharaj, he is a very meticulous observer of people. So he will remember all the fine things. In case, for example, let us assume that Maharaj came across a god brother just a couple of days ago. What Maharaj will do generally, after the lunch, he will go to meet him in the room. And he will ask him about, how did you join the ISKCON? When did you meet Prabhupada? Please share with me. Tell me, he will ask. And then he notes a lot of things. And then 2 days later, on the Sunday when he speaks, he will speak so many things. You will wonder how he knows so much. Because he is a person of heart. He will listen, he will remember, and he develops appreciation for them. So, and also this is how his relationship becomes thicker over a period of time with many. At the same time, it becomes challenging for him to give time to everybody also. That's another challenge. Everybody wants his time. So that becomes many God brothers also call. They want to take some guidance, help, or they want him to share some things. But it is a fact that whenever we had such panel programs, when he glorified it, deeply entered our hearts. No doubt about that. Thank you. Thank you, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki, Bhakta Vrinda ki.